Coming up at 11, Louisa native Noah Thompson has made it to the finale of American Idol. How folks in his hometown are supporting the singer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Lawrence County's Noah Thompson has officially made it to the season finale of American Idol, and folks in Lawrence County gathered at a local theater to witness it all. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from the American Idol watch party at the Garden Theater in Louisa, where people gathered to cheer on the young musician.
On Sunday, folks in Lawrence County gathered at the Garden Theater in downtown Louisa to cheer on their local idol.
We're proud of all of our talent here, and I mean, it just keeps rolling through. We try to highlight all of the talent here in our area, you know, from the local high school bands or whatever to the major celebrities that we have.
Noah Thompson has officially made it to the top 3. Noah's story of small beginnings has led to a large impact on the region that folks say he represents so well.
It's really not only about Louisa. You know, it's Lawrence County, it's Eastern Kentucky, it's our whole, our culture and our heritage of music that comes from the heart and comes from the roots of these hollers.
And Noah has gained support across the country, from the Appalachians to the Rockies.
I mean, the across the country support has been amazing. I mean, just the Facebook messages, and I've been getting phone calls and text messages of support from as far as Colorado and Wisconsin.
But he still needs one more final push.
Don't slow down. Don't sit back. Make sure that you vote next week again, and that you have your friends and your neighbors vote next week again. Don't slow down until he's all the way.
On the home stretch to becoming an American Idol. In Lawrence County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Kingsmore says the plans for Noah Thompson's homecoming parade through Louisa, as well as his free concert at the Lawrence County High School football field on May 17th, all depended on if he made it to the finale. You can find those now confirmed plans on WYMT.com. Well, as the weather starts to warm up, many of us will want to enjoy outdoor activities, but when it comes to hiking, park officials and search and rescue workers are reminding everyone how you can stay safe when you hit the trails. Public Information Officer with Wolfe County Search and Rescue, Drew Stevens, says there are several safety steps you can take before even leaving the house. He says before you head out to the nearest trail, you should plan ahead. From snacks to clothing, thinking ahead can save you from multiple problems later on.
Know your route ahead of time. Know where you're going. Bring navigational tools such as a GPS app on your phone and a map and compass. Bring extra water. Bring extra layers. Bring maybe a battery to charge your phone so that your phone's available in the case of an emergency.
Stevens adds that if you face an emergency while on a trail, even if you don't have service, most cell phone providers will still let you call 911. But it's important to provide dispatchers with an accurate description of where you are, where you began the trail, and where you parked your car. A bizarre incident in Vermont where a bobcat suddenly appeared in a home and attacked an older man. Police say an elderly man in the house was bitten and or scratched by the animal before he's able to trap it in the bathroom. Officials in the area say they have never seen an incident like this before. The resident had to be transported to the hospital for his injuries. Vermont Fish and Wildlife officials were called to the scene, and the bobcat was euthanized.
Well, all eyes are on the moon tonight as we await the total lunar eclipse across the mountains. Let's take a look at the camera over at the London Corbin Airport. And unfortunately, I traveled through all the cameras and we couldn't find it just yet. So we're still waiting on that. Current temperature over in London sitting at 68 degrees, 70 over in Pikeville, 73 in Jackson, 65 in Manchester, and 64 over in Monticello. Up on Pinpoint Doppler, most of us are dry at this hour. However, we are watching out for showers just off to the west, and those will be pushing into the area later on tonight. That forecast, lows falling into the upper 50s and lower 60s. We stay partly to mostly cloudy. Hopefully, though, we get a few breaks in the clouds so we can enjoy that total lunar eclipse before the showers move in later tonight and into your Monday morning. I got your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Keaton.
Thanks, Cameron. Looking forward to taking a peek outside when we get off of here. Country music singers are celebrating the life and legacy of Naomi Judd inside of the Ryman Auditorium tonight. The event, titled Naomi Judd, A River of Time Celebration, featured several country music artists, performers, and special messages from celebrities. Naomi was 76 years old when she died on April 30th. Her daughter Ashley says she died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. She died just a day before her and her daughter were inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Here's what one fan had to say about the impact she made on their lives.
My husband proposed to me after a Judd's concert, and our wedding was kind of a Judd's fest music. We had lots of Judd's music during our wedding. We're just really big fans, and I'm really sad that she's gone.
Fans of Naomi Judd will say their final goodbyes during a Broadway procession from 1st Street to 6th. For the first time in nearly 20 years, Johnson Central High School will start a football season without Jim Matney. The late head coach of the Golden Eagles died from COVID-19 in September, but as John Lowe explains, his career was celebrated Sunday night among the Commonwealth's sporting legends.
For years, Jim Matney's career at Sheldon Clark and Johnson Central has been described as legendary. But from now on, his career will be known as a Hall of Fame one.
You know, with what the KHSAA did for him today is pretty fitting.
Matney was one of 17 to be inducted into the KHSAA Hall of Fame on Sunday.
He worked so hard to succeed, and not only succeed in sports, but also to succeed in contributing to the community and making everybody feel welcomed into the community. And he was just such a good worker, such a good winner.
A man that brought championships and a winning attitude to Johnson Central, but he is most remembered as a father figure.
He was family man first and foremost. We waited a long time to have kids, and when we finally did, they were the first thing in his mind. The first thing in the morning is the first thing he thought of, the last thing he thought of in the evening, and everything he did, you know, he had his family in mind. To have my kids see that, I think they, know that, oh, it's not just success that makes you that happen. It's being good to people and being a kind person and being accepting to people.
A man who was proud of his home, passing on so many other opportunities outside of the mountains.
If it wasn't in Eastern Kentucky, he wouldn't even consider it. He was just, they're not, we don't have to. We can stay right there with our homegrown people and win. And he did.
A winner and a defender for the Eastern Coalfields.
Coach Matney was a fighter for the mountains. He would fight a sawmill for his people. And his people wasn't just Johnson County, his people wasn't just Martin County, his people wasn't just Pike County, but it was all of Appalachia.
We are who we are. We're boys from the mountains, from the hollows, from the small towns.
In Lexington, John Lowe, WYMT Mountain News.
Jim Matney was not the only person from the mountains to be honored this afternoon. Laura Lou Golden, the first woman official in Kentucky high school sports, was inducted into the KHSAA Hall of Fame. The Harlan County native was a basketball official along with her husband from 1960 until 1962. She died last year. Her son accepted the honor. A Kentucky man who lost his home in a storm years ago is now helping others in Western Kentucky, and he's doing it with beer and music. Austin Shuck started the Appalachian Pioneer program in 2020. Since then, he's used his nonprofit to try and erase stigma around the Appalachian region. Shuck says he wants to flip the narrative and provide a platform for people in Appalachia to be problem solvers and innovators.
So if we can encourage people just by doing things that we're passionate about, that's kind of all it takes. And it's like, if you can be there for someone when they have nothing at all, and you can show like, hey, you can still fall back on your passions, it's good when times are dark.
Which leads into Shuck's latest effort over the past few months, working with craft beer breweries and musicians to raise money for the Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund, which is exactly what they're doing at West 6 Brewing in Lexington. Shuck lost his home in 2012 when a tornado destroyed his West Liberty house. Now he's turning that loss into support for others going through a similar situation. This week is National Police Officers Memorial Week. Officials with the Kentucky State Police Post 9 in Pikeville will be honoring fallen troopers on Monday, May 16th. Officials will do a wreath presentation at the burial site of each trooper. Friends, family, and co-workers are invited to attend the event. Ceremonies will be held honoring fallen troopers Jerome S. Clifton, Johnny Adkins, and Jonathan Leonard. Coming up at 11, baby formula shortages are hitting close to home. How one woman in Western Kentucky is doing what she can to help.
And showers are possible tonight, but could that affect your eclipse viewing? I have those answers coming up.